My name is Sahar Rohani. I am a senior at USC, and I was in the Lava Lab Fall 18 cohort as a product manager. And it feels like forever ago, but Lava Lab has really shaped my entire experience at USC and also shaped my last 2 years of my life, because me and a couple other Lava Lab alumni actually started a business called Sochi Beauty, which will be launching in the spring of 2021, which we're really, really excited about. So we really owe Lava Lab a lot, learned a lot, could never have gotten to this point without the amazing network that Lava Lab is. So I'm excited to be answering a few questions about how to turn an idea into a business. And this is something that's so valid for every Lava Lab member, alumni, entrepreneur, student, or anyone that's looking to turn their idea into reality, whether it be a service, a platform, a product, a good, whatever it is. It always starts with an idea. And that's how ours started too. And it seemed so crazy to turn that into something that was physical, that was real, that other people could use. But so the first question of this little module is, what does it mean to turn an idea into reality? And the basic answer is research. You're not going to have the answers immediately at the palm of your hand, and it's really important to be aware of the underdog position that you're in and kind of like love it, you know? Going into a beauty business with two other guys. I'm the only girl, and I've never done anything with beauty before, never done anything with marketing or design. And it's kind of exciting because I think when you're turning an idea into reality, you can't cut corners. And that's really, really important for someone that doesn't know the market that they're going into, like me. And so staying on top of the news, asking questions, being able to receive feedback, like doing a bunch of research, watching videos, curating all your thoughts and everything that you've learned so you become an expert at it. And then you know what steps you could take moving forward, especially when you are wanting to turn an idea into an actual physical good. There's so many different routes that you can take, so many mistakes that you'll make, but I think that you honestly have an advantage if you are unaware of this specific path you're going down, because you're on your toes. And to be able to think on your feet and have quick reactions, and to think outside the box, and to keep researching when you don't get the right answer, it's inspiring, and it's exciting because you're learning something new every single day about yourself, about your partner, about the market that you're going into, about the product that you want to make, about your competition, about everything around you that you didn't know before. And another, I think, important thing that I just said was competition. Something that I learned in one of my entrepreneurship classes at USC and also in Lava Lab was to turn an idea into reality. You have to understand if there's even demand for the product. And sometimes if you're in a market where there's no other competitors in it, that might be a sign that that's not the market you should go into, because there's no demand for it. But if there are some competitors, that shouldn't deter you, that shouldn't scare you, that shouldn't say, oh, someone else is already doing it, I don't want to do it anymore because I don't want to try to compete with them. Competition is good. It's healthy. It's terrifying for me because sometimes I wake up and I think someone took our idea and ran with it. And then I have to remind myself that, no, that's actually great. Every single time I see some already established brand or some up and coming company coming out with something that's similar to ours, has the same concept, I get excited because I'm like, okay, cool. How can we, do some free market competition and engage our niche audience the best? Because on top of turning an idea into reality, it's not going to always benefit everyone in the entire world. You have to figure out who your target customer is, who's the person that's going to benefit from this, why they're going to benefit, and why they're going to keep using it. Because something that we learned in Lava Lab always was, how do you, short-term, great, but how do you keep people on board long-term? And that's how you make something stick. And so I think that that's some of the most overview, generalized things for how you turn an idea into reality, because there's so many little steps in between. But the thing I would take from my entire rambling would be, don't cut corners. Like, don't assume things are going to just fall into place. Everything needs to be researched and well done. every little detail needs to be looked at, because I don't know what the devil's in the details, the beauty is in the details. It's all about the details. If your customer sees that you took the time to really think out every single process of their user experience, they're going to appreciate you and they're going to trust you, and you're going to get some brand loyalty right off the bat, whether it's a platform, whether it's a product, whether it's a service, or, you know, anything you set your heart out to be, whatever your idea is. So the second question is, how do we imagine a brand that can become a business? And this is really different from how do we turn an idea into reality, even though it doesn't seem that different. But when we want to turn a brand into a business, we want to take a concept, the idea that we've made into reality, and how do we make money now? Like, how do we get a profit from this idea that we just turned into reality? How do we take this brand and then how do we now capitalize on it with capital? And I think this part's really, really tricky because there's so many different ways that you can turn a brand into a business. But I think for me, for my team, for what we're doing right now, we're trying to see certain aspects of the market, whether that be cause marketing, whether that be subscription, and whether that be the affinity of our age group that we're targeting right now. We have to see every single step, how much money we put in and how much money we're going to get out. So I think turning into a brand, into a business, is really important because it's really going to require you to figure out what your priorities are, figure out what your brand messaging is, and figure out what you want to put the most money into so you can get the most money out. And for someone that their product is a good, it's not a service, it would probably be, you know, advertising and marketing to get that funnel of users, where you have a bunch of users, but then the people that actually buy it is really slim compared to the amount of people that first saw it. You want to convert them, so you want to spend a lot of money on advertising. And that's so fair, but that not might work for someone whose idea is a service. Maybe their service is to spend a lot of money on the UI UX design of their website to make sure that their customers have an amazing experience, or the website or the app. So I think being able to prioritize things, but also not blocking off so much money for just one thing. You still have to keep in mind all the little aspects that go into it. You can't make an app and have it to be a gorgeous, beautiful app and it's perfect, but you spend no money on PR and advertising and marketing. No one's going to know about it. You know, there's everything in moderation, but you need to sit down and say, this is our brand, this is what we believe in, and this is what we want other people to benefit and to get out of it. But how do we do it in a way that's most effective with our money and that can give us the most money back, so we can go back to the drawing board and keep working on things that will make the product better, that will come out with a new product, that will make the user experience better. Whatever it is, it's always a cycle. You're always recycling things. You're always putting money back in when you're getting money out, whatever, vice versa. So I would say another thing for, you know, how do we imagine a brand that can become a business? Another thing that's really, really important, that's something that I learned because I have no idea anything about branding or marketing or business. I've never taken really a class in any of those fields, is knowing your brand aesthetic, having a brand Bible, having a look that is just your brand. And this includes having a color, even if you are an app, even if you're something that you don't think you need to focus so much on aesthetics. That's not true. You need to have a color that pops, something that it can be easily recognizable. You need to have a text that's yours, a font, a typography. You need to have patterns. You need to have photography styles and lighting aesthetics. You need to have, the correct dimensions for how you set up your logo, your watermark, your whatever it is that represents your brand. You need to have this streamlined brand Bible, something that is your brand. So when you want to turn it into a business and convey what you're selling to people, it looks clean, it looks professional. And then when you take it to different you contract different people. You contract a web designer, you contract a photographer, you contract an app developer, whatever it is. And it's so streamlined that your brand parallels your website, your Instagram, your Facebook, your advertising, your in-person brochures, flyers, your business cards. Everything is even. Everything makes sense. Nothing is separate from each other. And that really conveys the message that your brand is cohesive. It's on top of its shit, basically. And you really put thought into it. And so that's why people are going to choose to put their money in your brand back again, if that makes sense. But that's something that I have learned just working with different designers, and my co-founders are absolutely incredible. And they've been teaching me all these things, and now I'm seeing how important it is. And I don't know how I ever live my life without it. But yeah, that's how I would say those are the two sections in my mind of how to turn a brand into a business. The last question, which might be my favorite one, is how do we turn a team project into a team of founders? And this is something that I feel, first of all, extremely blessed and lucky. Junie Wu was my designer in the fall 18 cohort. He was in my team. And Aiden Maddox was one of the developers in the same cohort, but a different team. And so when we left Lava Lab, Junie and I decided, yeah, we want to actually run with this. We want to make this into a business. We think we can do it. We think we can get some money, and we think we can actually turn this idea into a reality and this brand into a business. And we actually contracted Aiden because Aiden is a genius at product design and 3D product printing, design, all that stuff. I don't even know, but we contracted him to design this product that we had in mind. And he came back and he had such good work done, and we worked so well with him that we sat down and we were like, do you want to become a founder? And ever since then, that was January of 2018. January of 2019. Me, Junie, and Aiden have been the three co-founders of Sochi Beauty. And even though I get along with them so well outside of the business, there have been trials and tribulations. It's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be easy. Something that's super interesting about Junie, Aiden, and I is how different we are. So it's like I'm on this side of the spectrum, Junie's on this side, and Aiden's kind of right in the middle. And it took us a while to realize that. And it also took us a while to realize how best we work with one another. And what methods just maximized each person's strengths, and how we could also help each other with our weaknesses. And it's something that I'm really grateful for, because Junie is extremely type A in the sense that he loves Excel spreadsheets, he loves Google Docs, he has meeting notes, he's the most organized, on top of his shit person ever, and that's why he's our operations officer. He is just, you can trust him with anything. He's extremely responsible. And sometimes I am on the opposite end. Sometimes I don't respond. Sometimes I get a little bit flaky, or I forget things. But I counter a lot of those negatives. And Junie counters those negatives. And I have a lot of the positives of, bringing a lot of ideas, bringing a lot of connections and networking and energy, and having a brand vision and aesthetic. That these are things that we balance each other really well. And we had to learn that early on to continue working together, because Junie would want to kill me if he didn't understand those things about me. And Aiden comes in, and Aiden's like a perfect medium. And I'm just talking so much about us three, but I just feel so lucky to have both of them, because they are two of the most amazing people I've ever met. And I'm so lucky that Lava Lab brought us all together. And I would have never have met them if it wasn't for Lava Lab, because Junie graduated a couple years ago and he was Marshall studying business. And Aiden is in the Ivan Young Academy. I don't know what he's doing. That is an interesting degree in itself. But I think, going back to the question, how do you turn a team project into a team of founders? I think it's all about communication. And I know that this is so cliche and so basic, and everyone's like, of course, communication, but it's communication about everything. It's, the times in your life where you just don't feel great. Like, your mental health isn't at its peak, and that's okay. And especially with a team of founders, you always want to seem like you're on top of your stuff, and you are professional, and you are business forward. You prioritize the business, but like, no matter what, your mental and emotional health comes first. And if you are able to be transparent and be like, hey guys, this is kind of a rough week for me. Could you guys help me out? These are what I need to get done. I don't know if I'm going to get these done. Then it makes it so much of a more transparent and more, honestly, loving process and with your team members, because they're going to return the favor and you're going to return the favor whenever there's highs and lows. And sometimes you'll all be on highs together. Sometimes you'll all be on lows. But to be able to be transparent and talk about it and to work together to say, yes, we recognize what's going on. We recognize the situation, and we're going to work towards, finding a solution. And I think that's been one of the best things that Junie, Aiden, and I have realized recently, is that Junie's working full-time and Aiden and I are full-time students, and we're all working on this business together. So sometimes it gets frustrating. Sometimes we get exhausted, like we get worked out, like it's a lot. And I think we've really gotten to a great rhythm where Junie will be like, hey, I have a lot of work this week, or I'll be like, hey, I have a couple finals coming up, because we're all in finals right now, and we need some extra support. And I think that anyone can be a team of founders. I feel very lucky to have found 2 other founders that reflect my ideologies, that have the same passions, but have such different skill sets, because I don't know if we would ever move forward if we all were exactly the same. But I think a team of founders is all about transparency, trust, and just a level of respect for the holistic body, if that makes sense, the mind, body, soul. And that's extremely important. I think a lot of the times at USC and entrepreneurs and just in the 21st century, we kind of forget that, we want to make this business work so badly. We want to make money so badly. We want to, keep this idea alive as long as we can, that we forget that it's not going to be a good business if we hate ourselves, hate our founders, and hate our situations in our lives. So I think that for me is how the best way we've kept our team project intact and stayed a team of founders for the past couple of years now. And yeah, Junie and Aiden, if you guys ever see this, you guys are the best. You're listening to how to turn an idea into reality, a brand into a business, and a team project into a team of founders. Take this all with a grain of salt. These are just a lot of the things that I have learned over the past few years, with a lot of mistakes and a lot of trial and errors, and some things that I wish I knew when I was a sophomore entering Lava Lab. And, I know things are weird right now, but no matter what, Lava Lab is an amazing organization. It's one of the greatest community of people I've ever had the honor of meeting. I don't know how I even got into this organization. The people that I've met along the way have just been insanely talented, and it's the best of the best at USC, which is the best of the best in the entire world. And I just feel really, really lucky to, have this community, and to also have met my 2 amazing co-founders, Junie Wu and Aiden Maddox. And yeah, if you guys ever want to grab a coffee or text me, be pen pals, whatever it is, I'm on the Lava Lab Slack, and I hope to see all you guys soon in person. And until then, stay safe, happy holidays, and peace and love. Bye.